Hey, Tom here, FlipAnything. Let me know if you hear me good, well, please. I have a little problem with Bluetooth here in the car. So we're here, today's last day to get into the 1-year mentorship. And it's going to change. It's going to be much more expensive, and I'm not offering it for a year anymore. Thanks to all those that have signed up this last 2 weeks, especially over this weekend. It's been very busy, and looking forward to the success of the new mentees. I've got people that have been in real estate for 25, 30 years in my class, and people that are brand new. And some of the people that have been in there for very long, or that have already been involved in real estate for a long time, they'll comment they had no idea there was so much they hadn't already known, and so much that they have learned. And the reason is because I've been just extremely assertive. I've been like a habitual investor. In fact, I had a gentleman wrote me a little bit ago. I think he's getting in the class too. He's 60, and he's got about $8 million net worth, and he's done pretty well. And but even he knows he can do better, and he can. Even I know I can do better. but it's such a life changer, and I just, I've exhausted myself trying to sell people on the lifestyle that's out there for them. That really, there's just some people that won't do anything. There's just some people that absolutely, it's like the old thing, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Well, it's kind of like that. And I just, this is Sunday. This is typical. I'm actually driving by some of my properties. It's kind of something I usually do. I mean, I do it almost every day because I own so much property around myself in the immediate area. And I mean, I can go any direction here and take you to property. But this is kind of the route I like to go. Hey, Josh, good to see you in here. Hey, Josh, actually, well, you may not want to be in this, but I think I'm going to go live a little later. I think I'm going to go ahead and do a Zoom, and I'm going to go ahead and invite some of like Liam, who's in here, and some of the others. And, maybe I'll get you guys to come in, those that are available want to, just come in, like maybe one at 2 and one at 2:15, or, you know what I mean? Or maybe all of you at once, don't matter. But, because like Liam's a great example here. Liam, he was like an impatient student when he first started, and he's like, yeah, I just give my mentorship to somebody else. I think I got it, and he learned some lessons, but he's one of my most profitable students now, and he's a big believer in it. He's a carpenter like me, and now he has more money in his bank account than he ever had before. And that's what happens with everybody. Once you make a deal or two. And listen, it happened to me. My first deal that I ever had when I was 19, guy offered me $20,000 more for the property than I had just paid for it. And this is back in the 80s, the early 80s. And I was like, I was just blown away. It was like 1981. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money now to some people. But that's what happens is you start accumulating. Even myself, when I retired from, and became a full-time investor at 27 years old, it was a buddy of mine that had come over, and I was kind of sick of the business that I had. I had a cabinet shop. It was doing okay. And my buddy says, Tom, why are you even doing this anymore? He goes, you own this? I go, yeah. And you own that? Yeah. He goes, well, why are you even doing this anymore? And by the way, since I'm here, look, while they got you on here, take a look at this. This is a building I built. I built this building 20 years ago. See that? This was a home run deal. Okay, that's 16,000 square feet that I'm driving by right now. And when I bought this, I bought a house here for 300,000, I think, for 300,000. And now there's a 16,000 square foot commercial building on here, and I've had a tenant in there for many, many years. In fact, that looks like him. He drives a Cadillac Escalade just like the one in front of me. But anyways, and listen, I have many buildings like this now. And, these things bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars a year each. And, and I bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in rent. And guess what? It ain't going to happen for anybody unless you start taking action. Let me show you some other property. So look, this is one, and we've already passed several that I hang on, we're going to turn here, bear with me. Oh, I've got cleaning service here. So look here, this is a beauty. This is a 20,000 square foot building right here. And this is like what I call a flex property. It's like industrial and commercial, right? Now, some of you might think, oh, gee, that's an ugly building. To me, it's a beautiful building. I don't care what a building looks like. Even, by the way, a junkyard is a beautiful thing. You know, people don't realize you can't put a junkyard just anywhere. Once you've established that you've got cars laying all over the property, that's something you can never apply and get today. That is pure gold. And but these kind of things you learn also in the mentorship that most people just don't know anyways. But it's considered, you know, grandfathered in at that point. Anyways, so look here, a quick look next door to that. You can see here's the building I just showed you here, and here's another structure over here on the right. That's another building that's next door that is actually a school. And I bought both of these properties together, and I bought them both at a fantastic deal. I mean, like, really fantastic deal. And today, of course, it's been, I don't know, 10 or 15 years on these, I'm not sure, but these are the ones I keep. And that's what this is what you learn to do, is I'll show you how to make money buying and selling, flipping, but also buying the home runs that you hang on to, the ones that'll put your kids through college, and buy yourself a new car every year if you want. So check this out here. Look here, I own this house here. I've sold it, actually. Here's another house I bought. After that, I bought this house. I bought the lot behind it, and I bought this. This is a restaurant. Okay, let's take a look at this restaurant. A lot of stories here. There's a lot of history here. So this restaurant that I bought had been here. Try to give you a better look at it. Had been here like 35 years. I mean, and it had been around a long time. It was, I don't want to say anything about the previous owners on this thing, but it had been Mexican restaurants a couple of times, and this place was pretty disgusting when I bought it. Your feet would stick to the floor, even though the floor had carpet. Okay, it was time. And I remember the plumber came through and he says, "Hey Tom, you know what?" He goes, "This place is fixing to set itself on fire." I mean, it was such a fire hazard. And wood floors, carpet, grease covered, feet would stick and lift the carpet. I pulled a rat that long out of a cushion. The booths, there was like a little hole, and I'm like, what is that? And there's something sticking out, it looked like a wire. I grab hold, pull this out. It's a damn rat. Pure gold. I bought this property for $700,000 or $720,000. Got a 3% interest rate, folks. $2,100 a month payment on. That's only a total of $21,000 a year interest, because I got them to finance $700,000 of it. And that property, I turned a nice fat profit in a very short time. Could have made more. I actually dove into the restaurant business for a short while. It was a big mistake. But this is going to the barbells, by the way. If you're new here, if you haven't watched me very long, yeah, barbells. I call it real estate barbells, because what I end up doing is I buy up real estate all around wherever I live and wherever I work or wherever I travel. I have like probably 4 barbells now, right? Meaning places I go. I bought up tons of houses around my girlfriend's house. I bought it, of course, around my own personal home, my own shitload of property. And then I go to where I've gone to work. I bought many houses, many industrial, commercial buildings. Now I have a lake house. I go to that. I've been buying property up and around the lake house. And so these different areas where I frequent. And now, I may be getting a lake house out there in Florida here pretty soon. Here's another building I bought. This here's a beauty. I paid $1.1 million cash for this property. And just a beautiful little commercial property. You can see gas station and the other stuff across the street. This is a high traffic street, and this is an awesome property. And you know, the experience I bring to the table for people is that I started with zero, okay? And I didn't have a mentor. I wish I would have, believe me, because as fast as I see people making money in my class, as happy as I am for them, I'm almost a little bit jealous and feel like I'm giving away too much for too cheap. But I don't care. In all honesty, nothing makes me happier than making a set of parents wealthier than they were before, and just making people a little richer is just a nice thing to help them make it. You know, I can't take it to the grave with me, so I might as well share it with people that are hungry for it and appreciate it. You know, I've got very low tolerance for procrastinators and cheapskates. You know, I'm not a cheapskate. I never have been, and I don't really, you know, don't just want to partake in babying anybody. You know, there's people that I don't mind somebody needing a little hand up or a little, direction. I can dig on that. That's fine. I've had some wonderful people in my life that were helpful to me. I had a guy one time, John Brooks. He's one of my favorite people. He's dead. He died it's funny, he died. Yeah, John died when he was 60 years old. And this is a guy that was probably worth $100 million when he died. And, he just built a brand new home on Seal Beach in California. And then he died. And but he was a good guy. He was a good guy. He was someone that would share. And I remember I think I was probably 19 or 20 years old. And he actually was my first commercial flip. I transferred the rights to buy a building to him, and I wanted him to be my partner, but he ended up just giving me $20,000 to buy the whole thing by himself. But that was the first example of me kind of doing what you guys would call wholesaling, or what for me was just simply letting somebody assume my position in a contract, and you learn about that stuff. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed in real estate, folks. Nothing has changed. It's been the same for thousands of years, right? It's territory. People want to own it. People pay for it. People protect it. It goes up in value, and that's what happens. And guys, I'll read your comments here in a second when I stop, if I stop. But listen, I don't know what we probably drove by. I don't know, maybe $10 million worth of real estate just in that little area. And we're heading toward more. I see a building I'm not going to stop by right now, but it's just, there's not a better way to make a living, and there's not a better way to build wealth. And I was going back to my story. I was tired of being in the cabinet business, and been 9 years, 8 months when I sold the business. And my buddy says, he says, Tom, why are you even doing this anymore? He was older than me, and he didn't have as much as me, but he saw me accumulate that wealth in a very short time, over a span of, 8-10 years. And he was like, he would have retired on half that. Okay. And he's saying, like, man, Tom, he goes, why are you even working? And it resonated with me. I thought, why am I? I don't need this shit anymore. And I'm kind of having one of those moments now, in as much as, like here I am driving by my properties, right? And I don't mind doing that. I've got a gal that works for me. She's worked for me about 10 years. Mom's worked for me for about 20. But her name's Nellie, and I'm kind of grooming her to be kind of Tom 2.0 in as much as managing my properties. And, it's funny, I could just go off subjects all day, just because every time I drive by, there's a story. These are different buildings that I've made money on, and or I've had an interest in, or I lost out on. And, but I'm grooming someone to take my place for for managing, and she's doing a great job. And, I'm ready to play a little more, get a little bit more on the road. And I may even do some seminars, may do some personal seminars. If you want me to come to your area, let me know. Maybe I'll come. It's got to be somewhere cool. It's got to be somewhere fun. Because that's just what I want to do. So look, I got to check on something here. I'll show you real quick. This is a property. This is a nice one I bought. You know, I made a couple million, about $2.5 million on a piece of land, and I was lucky enough that I was able to parlay that one into this property you see here on the left. This is a commercial strip center. You can see here. All right, let me pull over here. So this strip center, like some of my other stuff, it's very much the same. They all are, and that's a beautiful thing. So in other words, you have these staples in your strip centers: barbershop, hair and nails, you know, can be beauty or skin. Vape shop is now a staple. Sometimes a liquor store, definitely a bar. You know, in this case, I have a Mexican restaurant and a bar, and dry cleaners. These are kind of staples, and these are the kinds of properties that you take care of them and take care of your tenants, and believe me, they'll take care of you. And I say it all the time, treat your tenants like customers, take care of your tenants, and they'll take care of you, because it really is truly a win-win. You want them to prosper in business, and likewise, if they're prospering, then they're paying rent, and that's how that goes. So let's take a look at some questions. People made some comments. Hey, good to see you guys in here. Liam saying mentorship well worth it. Thanks, Liam. I appreciate it. I know Liam sure does. We got Vito from Long Island. And let's see, Ernie. I want to use other people's money to start with. How do you build that? You know what? I've never needed to use other people's money, I'm happy to say. But I've been able to start with zero, and I enjoy working with my own. Listen, you're looking for the Grant Cardone or the Chris Crone model, but unfortunately they don't teach you how to use other people's monies. They just use other people's money, and you're the money. So let's see, somebody else right here. Tom, I want to ask, why do you bother with doing the mentorship? That's funny. I ask myself that sometimes, but in all honesty, it is, I'll tell you why. Because, listen, my lifestyle probably hasn't changed much since I made my first million, to be quite honest. And when you've already raised 4 kids like that, already put them through college, you kind of go, what else is there, right? Well, helping people is very rewarding. It's not something I was very concerned about when I was younger. I was the wolf slaughtering sheep, and now I'm just trying to take some of the sheep, or people that are sheep-like, to become wolves. Because it's just a wonderful way to take care of yourself and your family. And it's not bad when I say, what am I got in front of me? It is just, listen, when you see young people getting ripped off for $1,000 or $5,000 for some bullshit stupid course, and even my father got ripped off for $10,000 like 40 years ago in this thing called Encino Elite. If you know who's connected to Encino Elite car washes, let me know, because I'd like to find them. But they took advantage of my father, and that was 10 grand. That was a lot of money to them. And they were not, they weren't me. They weren't bright investors, but they were people that were nice people, good people, trusting people, and they got screwed. And the last thing I want to see is some fake guru taking 1,000 or 10,000, or if I got a guy here, it's painful to even listen to his email. And maybe I'll read these emails to you guys sometime. But he's somebody that he jumped into a thing, the Young Mavericks, and he's regretted it ever since. And he's got $5,000 he's out. He owes $2,000 to one parent, $2,000 to the other parent, and he lost his seed capital. And now he doesn't even have the money to buy a legitimate course. And he went back, even though he just barely had it a week or two. He said, hey, can I get my money back? And they're like, no, adios, but we'll let you look at this stuff forever. And that's the problem. When you hand your money to somebody that doesn't show credibility, then you're a fool. Don't be a fucking fool. Listen, I show you real deals, properties that I've done, and I'm not even trying to sell myself. I'm just trying to tell you, forget the course, anything. Are you going to go you going to go to a gym and have the guy that's in the worst shape teach you how to get in shape? I mean, it's silly. You have to take responsibility for your money. And if you don't, then you're going to be broke. I mean, I can already tell you, it doesn't take you don't even have to be that bright to forecast the future of somebody. That's like, the old sayings, a fool and his money are soon parted. And that's what happens. You have to be able to identify. I mean, that's one of the things I teach you to do, how to identify value. And guess what? Some of you look at me and you don't even see value. You don't identify value. You look at somebody that promised you get rich quick and you go, oh, that's value. And because you're too lazy to fucking look into it. And so you get burned. And, and whether you deserve it or not, I still feel bad. I still feel bad for anybody that hands their money and becomes the fool in that scenario. But it happens thousands of times a day in the USA and elsewhere. I mean, it's never going to change. It's never going to change. So, anyways, let me see more comments here. Honor to the soldiers that guess. Yep, it is Memorial Day tomorrow. Just go to FlipAnythingUSA and you can take a look at the price options. LA seminar, yeah, I'm game. We'll do one down in Manhattan Beach. He just explained the blacklisted drums. I don't know that, but I'll look into that, Game Wiz. All right, so, oh, I see, blacklisted drums. Okay, there you go. You're right, I did. I'll tell you, I appreciate that, Game Wiz, too. But I didn't even finish this comment before I started going on. It's funny. What you just witnessed is an overheated iPhone. And that's what happened. My iPhone overheated and just cut us out for a minute. So I apologize for that. Anyways, forgetting what I was talking about. I guess probably just basically a fool and his money being parted. Anyways, Angel, yeah, I'm a real estate investor. But welcome to the channel. Please hit subscribe. Hey, so anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut it short here. I'll come back on here and see if I can get some of the folks from the class, if they want to jump in. A lot of people on vacation this weekend. It's a 3-day weekend. And but I'd be happy to, I'll get back to my studio. No longer smells like a dead rat. And I'll get things going again. And maybe we'll get some people in the Zoom. We'll see y'all later. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Rada. Bye.